Okay, so today I want to talk about one of, the most talked about musical evolutions in South Africa. The journey of Danya Devs from one half of the commercially and critically acclaimed duo Blaq Diamond to a powerful solo artist commanding his own lane. So, we'll talk about why this solo pivot wasn't just a side project, but a necessary evolution, a leap that saw him emerge from the creative shadow of his duo partner Ndu Browns to becoming his own force. So we'll highlight the metrics of his success, his 2026 debut full-length album Bayete, key streaming numbers, chart stats, and explain why this move was crucial for his artistic identity and legacy.
Man,
Did you ever feel like overlooked when you were in the group?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
And why is that?
Cause sometimes you see when you're in the group, ne,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna do whatever, but there's always gonna be like, khona abantu abathi mina mhlampe, okay, awusebenzi kakhulu because someone we chorus kakhulu mokanti ingoma yonke lo shandi, so they feel like, okay, fine. They don't know the behind the scenes, which sometimes you wrote the whole song.
Okay, so to understand the significance of Danya Dev's solo career, we must first revisit his beginnings, right? So Blaq Diamond, consisting of Danya Devs and Ndu Browns, originated from Ladysmith, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa, and they met in 2010 and, quickly bonded over music, eventually moving to Johannesburg in pursuit of, mainstream success. Their signature Afro-pop, Maskandi, and soul-infused sound struck a chord around the country, right? And their debut album and follow-up album helped define the Afro-pop landscape in South Africa. So, Ipanoyi, one of their breakthrough singles, earned them Record of the Year at the South African Music Awards in 2020, cementing their status as major fixtures in the industry. So, the duo's chemistry was undeniable, right? Ndu Brown's songwriting and delivery complemented Danya Dev's emotive vocals perfectly, producing timeless hits and a loyal fan base across generations, right? Yes, as successful as Blaq Diamond was and still remains to be successful, the seeds of personal artistic exploration were already present.
Something that everybody has been asking for months now, because Blaq Diamond just won a
best duo, yeah.
And then Chiggy Danya has a single. Chiggy Ndu Browns is launching his solo career. Does this mean the end of Blaq Diamond? Are you guys splitting?
Yes, I'm joking. We are definitely not splitting. Me and my brother, we can never split, bro. I don't know, man. I think we love each other so much. The bond is just insane, we planned this. We started having this conversation from like last year.
Okay.
Yo, bro, how can we do something like this? You know what I'm saying? And also the whole idea of doing something like this, like for example, like when Danya drops his solos and when I drop my solo, it's not gonna sound anything like what we do when we are making Blaq Diamond music. You know what I'm saying? So that's the aim or the goal behind it, is just to give people more music and give them, because like we've realized like our audience is very like wide.
Okay, so artists evolve, and Danya Devs, for Danya Devs, that evolution was twofold. Number one, creative self-expression. When Blaq Diamond had a distinctive collective identity, obviously, Danya Devs consistently also showed a desire to explore themes, sounds, and styles that extended beyond the duo's, established sound. His solo work leaned more into introspection, blending Afro-pop with soul, storytelling, and rhythms that reflected, his personal artistic visions. I also feel like, this is my second point, right? I feel like he was the shadow of Ndu Browns, right? Ndu Browns, as a songwriter and lyricist, had long been seen as one of the driving creative forces in the duo, right? His role was central, and while Danya Devs was often the voice and face of, key hits, the public discourse sometimes placed Ndu Browns in a compositional spotlight, if I may say, leading some to assume that Danya Devs' artistry wasn't defined within the partnership. And this partly shaped the narrative that Danya Devs needed to step out of the shadow, not in a combative sense, but in a asserting his individual creative identity, right? So in 2025, both Danya Devs and Undu Browns began releasing individual projects, right? Promoting speculation among fans about Blaq Diamond's future. Media coverage stressed that neither departure was group breakup. Both artists confirmed the duo was actually still active, but that these solo projects allowed them to explore personal artistry. So in Danya Dev's case, this was not just a side hustle. It was a strategic and artistic necessity.
Which is
So, what made you go solo?
oh,
Oh, sorry, it was falling.
I think like I'm from Blaq Diamond, so
Mhm.
I was like I spoke to my parent. I was like, yo, it's time to execute this plan because after whatever we just did as a Blaq Diamond, winning anything, everything. So I feel like we had new dreams because I cannot just keep on hitting the roof, I just need to go to the sky. So I was like, yo,
Wow.
let me start. Okay. I was like, okay, yeah, let me start. Let me start my career and abantu bang support. I just wanted to prove myself that like when you're in the group, ngiyakwazi ukwenza izinto zenu ngendlela e-right singahlukani yabo, but just support one another. So that's the reason why I did this thing. And my brothers also dropping and I just dropped, as you can see. And yeah, I think that's the reason why I started just to show people because even if you're in a group, but I'm alone, I have my own mind, he has his own mind. I'm a force, he's a force. So it's like that.
broke this.
For sure.
Okay, so the first solo step, the 1 million EP. So before a full album, Danya Devs proved his solo strength with the EP 1 Million, released August 21, 2025. So this project was pivotal for several reasons, right? He had massive streaming achievement. 1 million reached over 5 million all-time streams within 3 months of its release. A rare accomplishment for a solo debut EP, and clear evidence that Danya Dev's individual voice resonated far beyond niche curiosity, right? He had artistic exploration. The EP showcased songs that blended introspective lyricism with infectious Afro-pop grooves. And Danya Devs wasn't, rehashing Blaq Diamond's hits. He was telling his own stories, drawing listeners into themes of ambition, love, cultural pride, and personal transformation, right? His industry recognition, the success of 1 million erased doubts that his, solo brand would lag behind the duo's legacy. And this obviously set the stage for Bayete, the album that he recently, dropped, the solo debut album, Bayete, which released on January 23, 2026. And Danya Devs released his official album, obviously an 18-track body of work that would become one of the most talked about projects of the year so far, right? So firstly, first week numbers on the day of release, Bayete pulled in roughly 311,000 total streams on Spotify, South Africa. The second day saw continued growth with 313 total streams, unusual for many projects that actually drop after the first day. And multiple tracks from the album landed on the South African Spotify daily charts, with 3 alone accounting for 113 and 50 streams in one day. So, industry trackers projected Bayete to achieve between 1.8 to 2.1 million streams in its first week, a staggering figure for a solo debut in the local market. And his chart dominance is crazy. The album claimed the number 1 spot on the Apple Music album charts in South Africa, and signaling a broad appeal across platforms. So Bayete isn't just numbers, it's a statement of identity. And the title, obviously a powerful, Zulu salute, meaning hail or all rise, reflects Danya Dev's mission to stand tall in his own truth and summon listeners to rise with him. So V8 opening with reflective storytelling, Olasbali featuring Mawelele, a social media fueled favorite. We have 1 million reintroduced in the album context, Katesite, a high energy, type song, and collaborations with major names like Ndu Browns himself, Java, Casper Nyovest, Questa, Nomfundo More. It's just a lot of star power and cohesion, proving that Danya Devs can hold his own with giants while crafting a personal narrative.